and you probably already know that. But I'm welcoming you into my studio here in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. Actually, it's still kind of cold. And today I'm doing a FetHead inline preamp first impression. Basically, what do I think about this thing? What do I think? And then leave your comments in this video, of course, because I will talk to you guys and maybe even talk to you today live on this thing. Once I open up my chat app and get everything going, it's saying, I'm going to open this in the browser. This is a 2-mic first impression of the FetHead inline microphone preamp for really a budget podcast, because this is the mic setup that I use for my podcast. And I just added this little preamp in mostly because I hear hiss and noise, and I think it's mostly due to my computer being here. If I would shut my computer off, of course the stream would die, but if I shut my computer off, then I'm pretty sure the little bit of hiss I hear would be gone. But put my headphones on, and you can hear in your headphones, if you crank them up, you can hear just a little bit of room hiss and noise. The other thing is these microphones, this is a Shure SM57, and I don't have one. It's with a windscreen, so it mimics the SM7B a lot, okay? A lot. And also I think what I've noticed is with more gain, I can get away from this microphone a little bit, and it still picks up. So I've been having to get right on it to get a good sound, and I like, because I'm a male voice, I like the lower tone, so I like to be up on it anyway. So I've got 2 mics. One has the FetHead inline preamp, this thing right here. This is the little thing, it's like that big, it's a little bullet. You can see the links are in the description for all my setup. So you know why I'm using these mics is because the SM7B that you see most podcasters using costs like $400, okay, for $399, which is not bad for a microphone, unless you need 4 of them, and then or like in my case, I need at least 2, okay, at least 2. But the SM7B definitely needs what we call the cloud lifter, or what everybody calls the cloud lifter. Now, the cloud lifter is $150. The FetHead inline preamp little dongle, I don't know what, bullet, I'll call it the bullet, is $89, okay? And I've A-B'd them. I've seen other YouTubers A-B them. I think they sound good. They sound fine. So let's do what I came here to do, is test it out. So first of all, I think it does color the mic. The FetHead inline does color this mic. Does it color it good or bad? I don't know. So I'll be listening to this before. So I have an SM57 with the same exact setup right over here, so I can switch between them. I'm going to switch over to this other one right now. So now I'm on this SM57 without the FetHead, and it does seem like it got a little louder. It seemed like it got a little weirder. The hiss changed a little bit. It's hard for me to tell, but I do think that it makes my voice less crispy, if you know what I mean, crispy. If I go back to the other one, then you can tell it kind of brightens up the voice. Maybe, I'm not sure it takes out any of the bass, but it does brighten up the voice. So maybe that's good, maybe it's bad. I'm going to listen to this myself back later, and I'll be able to tell, do I really think it's good or bad? So this is FetHead mic. This is a normal mic. And the one thing that I did find, that I found out, most likely, you know, with the SM7B or any of these dynamic mics, they need more preamp push or power than your average mixer gives them. So that's why you get the cloud lifter, you get this thing, because then my preamp is like crazy. I wish you could see it. The preamp on this is all the way over, like at 3 o'clock. Like, it's not got much more to go. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the way up. This preamp is all the way up. Now this one, I added the FetHead. Now this preamp is literally like almost the other direction. It's like it's like this, it's like 9 o'clock. So, you know, you start to turn it up, you barely turn it up. So most of the clean boost gain is coming from the FetHead inline preamp that's plugged right here. Now, as an audio guy, I never cared about this. I don't think I ever cared about this. I always just crank up the gain and go with it. And you do that. You're not going to go buy, you know, $89 bullets to put on all your mics. That would be crazy. Why would you need to? You usually don't need to. Usually you have, it's fine, you know, for church and all that. But when you're doing just a spoken voice or voiceovers or anything like that, you can't have your preamp cranked up to, like, you know, all the way up to 2 or 3, like almost to the top, because that's what this one is. This preamp is cranked all the way up to almost to over 3 o'clock. And if I turn it up even more, let's say I wanted some more gain and I turned it up. The higher I turn it, the more noise the preamp gives you. And then when you get it up this high, the preamp is really, really hot. You can hear it. Now you can also hear my computer. I'll give you that. You can hear my computer. But no matter what, in a dead silent room, even with really good preamps, and I'm on a Mackie Pro FX10 board, you can see all my gear in the description. I have a link to all the gear that I'm using. And even I have all the setups. Now I'm back on the FetHead, and maybe for you audio people, you could probably hear that. You could hear, okay. So leave me a description note. Tell me which one you like, because I think, regardless of what I like, I think I'm going to keep this FetHead preamp because I just can get more gain without turning up my preamp. And it does sort of have a brighter, more clarity of tone. Anytime you add something to your gear, it's going to change. So now I'm on the non-FetHead mic, and it's a little bit darker. Not that I couldn't take this EQ and just pop it up a little bit. So now I'm adding in high EQ there, and that worked pretty good. Or I could drop out the low EQ, maybe make that sound, but I think I can make these mics sound about the same. Check 1 2 with check 1 2. This is the FetHead with no EQ, and it's just hotter. It's hot. It's definitely hotter. It feels hot. And this is the regular mic with no FetHead. It just feels actually in my ears, I like the sound of this mic without any preamp. I do. Actually, it maybe sounds a little richer, but if you add the FetHead inline, then it gets a little more. It might be a little more. I can get off the mic a bit. Maybe I don't have to have the mic right up in my face all day. Maybe it's just hotter. If I take this non-FetHead mic and I back off from it a little bit, it seems to just not have as good of it doesn't have as much oomph, so that's a pretty good test. Actually, I'll put these exactly in the same spot, and I'll stay in the same spot, and I'll go back and forth. So this is non-FetHead. This is FetHead. Oh yo, who you calling a fathead? I don't know. This is non-fathead. It's really a fathead. This is non-fathead. This is fathead. So maybe they are about the same. So this is the tone of the FetHead from about a fist difference, 4 fingers. Here's 4 fingers off of the regular mic. So if you're still watching this, you are a super nerd. All right, so that's what I'm going to do today on that. Listen to the hiss of the mics. Let's listen to the hiss of the mics. So this is the FetHead. We'll do silence. This is the non-Fet. Switch here. And switch here. All right, that's the non-Fet. So that's those things right there will matter. And if you listen to yourself all day, like we're doing live streams pretty much all afternoon, then maybe you think that's annoying. Okay, maybe you look at yourself and you think that's annoying that thing's sticking way out there. Okay, whatever. Look at that thing. It's kind of big. But from what I can tell, I can take that and put it on the other end, so you don't even have to look at it. So that's good. So for you guys who are here still watching this nerdy video, today I'm going to do a bunch more live feeds. I'm going to do a bunch more live feeds today, people. A bunch of more. I'm probably going to get on the guitar. I'm probably going to I'm going to do some ranting. No, I'm not going to rant. Should I rant? I should rant on something. But check this out. You can go to the gear list. Since the gear list is online, you can actually go to it, and let's see if we can get you up there. So you can go to the gear list here, and you can see everything that I'm using. Now, all of this stuff, all these are Amazon links, so it does support the channel. Also, if you like the content, share the channel, subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more. And something else that's really awesome for you guys who are trying to set up your own studio, your own podcast thing, which everybody is trying to set up their own podcast studio. I know that because everywhere I go, that's all people want to do is set up podcast studios and do that stuff. So what you can do is you can go straight over here to Tech Downloads. Now, if you go to Worship Band Builders and you click in Gear List, you're going to get to all my gear. Now, all of this is random gear. I do have it sort of, here's my live streaming recording stuff for church. Here's my studio setup, the stuff I'm using in my studio. Here's the stuff I'm using for my guitar pedal board, and I'm adding to this list. But you can click on this button at the top, go to free tech downloads, and this is where it gets funny, where it gets silly, is you can see all of the setup of actually how to set the gear up, how to set the gear up for you. You can see my church stuff. You can actually get Logic template, mix template. And you know what? This stuff, not all of this stuff is free anymore. So I should probably change this button. I should probably put tech downloads, because not all of it is free. Some of it is free, okay? And I'll probably put mix templates, because that's what this is. Logic templates, okay? Tech downloads and Logic templates. And it's a lot of different stuff. So anyway, but not all of it is free. Some of it is free. Name your own price, suggested price, whatever you want to do that. All right, guys, I am going to go, and hopefully you can go right over here to Amazon, and you can click on the link and get yourself one of those little badongles. All right. God bless you guys. I'll see you on the next video.